All right, man, let me get some music turned on in here real quick. It's all quiet. All quiet up in y'all. Man, it is 2026. We have made it into a new year. A new year. All right, let me get it right by getting some musics in here. Where we at? Maybe turn that down a little bit. It's a new year. It's 2026. Let's get some musics. That might be too loud. All right, that might be too loud. That might be too loud. I think I normally take it down to like a 20. Go ahead and tap that like button if you're tuned in. I'm gonna do a little bit of sneaky clean. I'm not gonna talk too much, but I say that all the time, and then I talk too much. See what happened there? I end up talking a lot. I'm gonna clean some kicks. Say what up in the comment section. Crystal in the building. What up, Crystal? How you doing? Happy New Year to you and your family. Same to you, Crystal. Shout out to you. I'm gonna try not to talk too much because number one, you know I'm a talker and I talk a lot. I got work today. I got work a little bit later. I'm just gonna clean up a couple of kicks. I don't have that many sneakers to clean because even though I don't always record it, I'm always cleaning my kicks. The kicks stay clean. What up, fam? Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. Thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you. I know it's going to take a little bit for some people to pile in here. Happy New Year. Thanks for stopping out. Thanks for stopping by, though, Chris. I appreciate you. Crystal in the build. Says she's on her way out the door. Enjoy the rest of your day as well. But thank you for stopping by. It's always love. I appreciate you. Greetings from the Philippines. Where you located? I am in Centennial, Colorado. And let me tell you, it's been beautiful. I'm originally a New Yorker. I'm from Queens, New York. Parents still live there. I don't have no family out here in Colorado outside of my wife and kids. Man, it's been beautiful out here. It is beautiful out here. What's the weather looking like in the Philippines? Caveman. Caveman in the build. Happy New Year. What's good? What's good? Thanks for tapping in. So why Colorado, man? That is an interesting question. All right, man. You're gonna mess me up because I said I wasn't gonna talk too much. You see, but I'm a talker. I wasn't gonna talk. I wasn't gonna talk that much. It's gonna be your fault. It's gonna be your fault. I wasn't gonna talk that much. I'm from New York and my cousins live in Colorado. Yeah, same here. Born and raised in New York. Moved out here the tail end of 2003 when I was 23 years old. If you leave it up to my wife is gonna say I moved out here in 2004, the beginning of 2004. She'll know what she's talking about. I came out here the tail end of 2003. Born and raised, right? My parents still live in New York. All of my friends are all back home, all on the East Coast, the DMV area, Florida, the Carolinas, the Georgias. Y'all know how it is. When you're a New Yorker, look, I've been going to Disney since I was a kid, right? I haven't gone recently. But ever since I was a kid, my parents had timeshare at this place called Orange Lake Country Club. So ever since I was a kid, every year we've gone out to my parents' timeshare in Kissimmee, Florida, and been going to Disney. Your average New Yorker, I don't know how it is now, but your typical New Yorker, they travel down south, right? You take 95 south, you go down to Florida. Typically you drive, you're a kid, you drove down there. You drive right on back 95 north back home, and that's your family vacation, like year after year after year. So why Colorado? Let me answer your question as quickly as I can. Came out here to visit one of my best friends back in New York. He still lived there. He lives in the BX. His name is Shah. My brother Shah and we road dogs. We've known each other since '94 in high school. I went to St. John's Prep in Astoria, Queens. Um, We came out here to visit, man. He has family out here, and his family kept telling him. They kept telling us, because him and I lived together. It's like, come out to Colorado to come visit. We city kids, so we ignorant, you know. We ignorant. We like, yo, it ain't nothing out in Colorado. All right. You got mountains out there. It's ice cold all year round. You probably got cows walking around in the streets, if you even have streets. And yeah, Kobe Bryant got in trouble, you know, with a white girl out there. We're good. We're ignorant. So his family purchased our tickets from New York to come out here. Since they got our tickets for us, we over here with these big old attitudes like, fine, we'll come visit. Man, I came out here to visit. We came out here for like 2 weeks. This is before we were both married, had kids and all that stuff. So like I said, this is back in 2003, 23 years old back then. Anyway, just to kind of speed up the story, right? Because I'm not even trying to do like a story time. I just really want to clean some chicks. But, you know, this is engaging enough, so why not? So, anyway, speed up the story. Number one, I don't know if y'all even want to hear all this, but at the end of the day, man, I caught an invite to move out here. So did my friend. Sorry. So my brother Shah, we came out here on vacation, right? And I'm talking about, we just had a ball. Matter of fact, when I stepped out of DIA, that's Denver International Airport, boom, sliding doors, and it's a very big, beautiful airport. As soon as I arrived to Colorado, we stepped out of the airport. The doors open up. True story. And I go like this. And there's people obviously all standing around. I go like this. I go. And people are like, yo, what's wrong, D? And I'm like, nothing's wrong. I can breathe. I just take a deep breath and I'm looking around and I see like mountains, the snow cap and all that stuff on the mountains. But it's just a clear sky and I can breathe. I'll just take a couple of deep breaths, just like, and I'm just looking around at these mountains. And I'm like, looks pretty clean out here. You know, that was like my kind of first impressions of Colorado. Took some getting used to, you know, being a New Yorker and moving out to a place like this. I flat out tell y'all, you know, it ain't many of us out here, right? It wasn't many of us in 2004. There's more in 2026 now, right? But number one, there's not many of us out here. So that's a change all by itself. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's different. It's different than what I'm used to. That's number one. Number two, people are friendly out here. Now, not so much anymore in 2026, because just like me, a lot of people who are out in Colorado ain't from Colorado. They're not natives, right? So Colorado has been taken over by outsiders. I can't talk crap because I'm an outsider myself, right? I've been here for 20 plus years now. But when I first came out here, number one, the cost of living was almost like Kansas. It was cheap. Colorado was the best kept secret 20 years ago. This is before weed was legalized out here. I didn't know about Colorado, so didn't nobody know about no Colorado. Wasn't nobody trying to live out here, you know what I mean? Even though it was a beautiful place to be, so hence why, you know, I moved. So anyway, we stayed out here for like 2 weeks. We partied and had a blast, you know? It was kind of coming down to the point to where our trip was ending. We're heading back to New York. And also keep in mind, back home in New York, where we were living at the time, and this isn't a knock on it, because it is, you know what I'm saying, like, where we're from Southside Jamaica, Queens. My brother Shah, I lived with him and his mom right across the street from 40 projects. So you got 40 projects, boom, right here, and literally right across the street from the projects, you had a bodega, and it had a little pizzeria right there, right across the street from the project. So you got a bodega, which is known as a corner store, if you don't know what a bodega is. But anyway, you got a corner store, and you had a pizzeria that was attached to the corner store, and they had really good pizza there. And then you had like residential areas. So that's the way things are kind of set up back east. Like, you can have projects. And when I say projects, I ain't talking about like projects out here in Colorado. Out here in Colorado, they call the projects like It's like these duplex homes. You got two homes that's like kind of shaped like an L. You know, they're called duplexes because they're two homes kind of set together, kind of like an L in the community, and those are the projects. No, I'm talking about the big buildings. You got like, I don't know, 16 floors. It's a project building. You know what I mean? It's the projects. So anyway, um, we live right across the street from the projects. They made him an offer. They were like, "Hey, y'all ain't got much going on in New York." Now, the thing is this: they were saying it respectfully. We've always had a job, right? We've always had a job. I've been working since I was 14 years old. I was actually there was a Facebook post one of my boys put up there asking, "What's the least amount of money you've ever made?" And looking at some of the, and a lot of these people were older than I am, right? I'm 45 years old, but there were a lot of people older than me. So people were like, man, they worked a job making $1 an hour. And I was like, woo, like, woo. All right. So when I was 14 years old back in 1994, I was a freshman in high school, St. John's Prep. I had a job at Bruegger's Bagels, Madison Avenue, East 23rd Street, was out in Manhattan. And I was making $6.15 an hour. $6.15. This is back in 1994. And I vividly remember next to the bagel store, it's called Bruegger's Bagels, right next to the bagel store, like 2 or maybe 3 doors, not blocks, but doors down from the business, there was a McDonald's. And my brother Shah and myself, we worked at Bruegger's Bagels. And I remember McDonald's was paying like $5.80 an hour. And we were making $6.15. And the funny thing was, we kind of had like this little beef with like the McDonald's cats, right? Because McDonald's served breakfast, obviously, and the bagel store had like breakfast bagels and stuff like that. And we had to walk past the McDonald's to get into our store because McDonald's came first. When you come out the subway, McDonald's was there, and the bagel shop was there too. But it was funny because it wasn't like a real beef, right? But I'm talking about, like that little restaurant beef. And they used to always call us the Bagel Boys. They were, look at the Bagel Boys going to work or whatever. And we would look at the cats at McDonald's like, yo, we make more money than you do. Now, keep in mind, we're talking about like a 35 cent difference, 40 cents, whatever. It's not like we were making like bank, right? But just the mere fact that the cats at McDonald's was laughing at us working at a bakery. And I'm like, we make more money than you. Like, y'all should come over here and get your money up. You know what I mean? So it's just funny how like that competitive nature, even back in the day when someone's talking crap to you, they were making like $5.80 an hour, $5.80 an hour. We're making like $6.15. And now that I think about it, I mean that's even like a 35-cent difference. But still, it was like, you laughing at me, son? I make more money than you, yo. All right, my bad, y'all. Let me get to these comments here. I'm from New York, and my cousin lives in Colorado. All right, yes. South Bronx, New York in the chat. Yes, Caveman, that's right. I thanks for reminding me because I remember you mentioned that before. Man, so my brothers used to live off of Jerome Avenue, East Tremont and Jerome Avenue. I would visit them, man, from time to time. I used to go over there a lot. Back in that day, let me know how it is now. I know it was like you had a lot of blacks and a lot of Dominicans in particular on that side of town. I don't know how it is now, but yeah, man, I've definitely spent some time out in the BX too. There's no doubt about it. Tropical country, you'll love it here. Full of party, tradition, culture, tribes, friendly people. That's what's up. That is what's up. And we're talking about the Philippines. Man, that's what's up, man. Thanks for tapping in. Yeah, he said we'd love to hear your story. I appreciate you. Like I said, I didn't even plan on like kind of talking. Shout out to the oldies. Y'all like the kicks, OG. You're looking fly. Good looking out. Funny thing about sneakers is I've had a lot of these sneakers, not all of them. But I've had a lot of these sneakers back in the past, like when I was younger. And if there's like a mistake that I've made when it comes to a lot of these kicks, back in the day, obviously I used to hoop, right? I'm a New Yorker. I mean, you're from New York, man. You want to be a rapper or a ball player, right? Like, That was the vibes. So, you know what I mean? I used to hoop. I will hoop. I used to hoop in my Jordans. That's number one. So when I was a kid, I had I had the LA gears, you know, when you walk and they light up. I had the what's the Reebok pumps, right? You pump it up and release the S and all that stuff. You know, I had all them shoes, man. The only shoes I actually really didn't have, just like to keep it a buck, and that's not because of any reason outside of what I'm about to tell you why, was I never had any British Knight shoes. And because BK, it was called British Knight, they made actually a really nice sneaker. But BK also stood for something else, kind of like in the side of town that I lived in. So we just didn't rock certain colors and stuff like that. Not from any affiliation on my end. You just gotta be aware of where you live at. You know what I mean? So that was the only reason why I didn't have any British Knight shoes. But other than that, like, I used to hoop in my shoes, and this is one of my regrets, because I never knew, or I never forecasted as a kid, thinking that in the future these sneakers would be worth something in the future. Man, I will hoop in my J's, literally like burn a hole in the bottom of them. You know what I mean? Like wear them down and throw them in the trash and go get some more. You know what I mean? So it's, you know, I if there's one regret, I wish I would have just held on to a lot more stuff. But then some of that, I lost actually some of that in my move, because when I moved out to Colorado from New York, I first came out here with 2 luggages, a suitcase. It's actually kind of funny. My license was suspended at the time when I moved out here. So I flew out here, had a car, had a Mitsubishi Eclipse, but just couldn't drive it yet. So my license was suspended. And I don't remember why. I don't know if it was like parking tickets, or I don't know why my license. I don't remember why did my license get suspended back then? It wasn't from like a DUI or not like that. Not back in New York, that is. No insurance. I honestly don't remember why my license, but it wasn't really like suspended for like a big deal, if that makes sense. So anyway, when I first moved out here, I didn't have a license, but I had a car. So when I first moved out here to Colorado, I stayed here for about 2 months, got my license right, and then I flew back out to New York, jumped in my car, and this is why I left a lot of stuff behind, because I didn't bring a moving truck, no nothing. I squeezed in whatever I can squeeze into my Mitsubishi Eclipse and the clothes on my back, and I drove out here by myself. You know, so I left a lot of stuff. I'm talking about Averex jackets, 8-ball jackets. I left a lot. Sneakers, clothing. You know, back then I was still rocking like Nietzsche, and I ain't gonna lie, you know, I had my Rockefeller, my Rockaware, I had my Sean John stuff, you know what I mean? Like Fat Farm. I used to wear all that stuff. I used to Carl Kanai. I used to wear all that stuff back in the day. You know what I mean? And then it elevated up to like Averex, and I've only had one Iceberg shirt. You know, like Iceberg was like a really big thing when I was in school. I really only had one because them joints was like dumb expensive. Anyway, I had a lot of these kicks back in the day, and I just threw them in the trash. So you know, as I've gotten older, I've definitely got back into it, and it's very reminiscent and nostalgic for me with a lot of these sneakers. You know what I mean? So it's never a flex or a brag or none of that stuff. Me personally, I'm not saying this for any other reason than what it is. You know what I mean? Like I don't do the reps, I don't do the UAs, I don't do the fakes when it comes to the sneakers. You know what I mean? Like I'm just blessed to be able to be in a position now. I'm an OG. I'm an old guy now. I'm old. So I get to kind of double back, you know, things in my childhood, man, and just kind of enjoy life. It's all good. You say you fell in love with the quality of life in Colorado. There's no doubt about it, man. Now, the quality of life out here is way different. You know what I mean? Shout out to Mr. Trigger. What up? It's one of my brothers in back home in New York right here. He's been out here a couple of times to come visit. It's just different out here. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say it's better. I just say it's different. I mean, like, it is what it is. John Palm in the bill. Happy New Year, John. 2026. Got some people tapped in, man. Happy New Year. What did y'all do? What did y'all do last night? Just comment real quick, and just tap in and let me know what y'all did last night to bring in the new year. Do you have any New Year resolutions? I don't do the resolution thing, but I do set goals for myself. So like, just as an example, One of my goals for last year, 2025, was to become fully monetized on YouTube. And let me tell you, it is not an easy thing to do. I've been on YouTube for 3 years and couldn't get monetized. I got one of them AI cameras, so when you give the head like the OK signal, it zooms in. See, I just did it again. All right, there we go. December 9th, 2025. Thanks to y'all, because I can't even take credit for it, because I can make all of the content in the world. I tell you right now, if y'all don't watch it, it don't help, right? So thanks to y'all, I'm not even gonna sit here and be all cocky and be like, yeah, I did this and I did that. Look, thanks to y'all, I finally got monetized December 9th, 2025. That was one of my goals for 2025. Now, I have more goals, right? So this isn't a resolution. I already started working out. I've been losing weight back in 2025, right? So anyway, here goes a tough goal. And it's going to be tough. I ain't going to hold y'all. This is going to be tough. I'm a bowler. I've been bowling ever since I was young. I've been bowling a very long time. All of my friends, my dad included, who doesn't bowl anymore, all of my friends have perfect games. Everybody that I've grown up bowling with have multiple perfect games. I've never bowled a perfect game in my life. The highest I have bowled is a 298. And not only have I bowled a 298, I've bowled every number below a 298. So that means I bowled a 297, I bowled a 296, a 295, 94, 93, 92, 91, 290, 289. I've done it all. The reason why that is so embarrassing, I will explain to you why. I just think it's more of like a mental mind block versus anything, but I still haven't done it yet. And it's ironic because my name on here is Mr. Think I'm Possible. So or think impossible, but if you take impossible, a little bit of wordplay, you change it to I'm possible. I need to get out of that mental mind block of not rolling a perfect game. So in order to bowl a 298, for those that don't know, I will briefly explain it to you. You only need 12 strikes in one game to have a perfect game. 12 strikes in a row gives you a 300 game, which is a perfect game. When you go 11 strikes, right? So if you bowl 11 strikes, and on that last shot, if you throw the ball in the gutter, that will constitute a 290. I've bowled a 290. But I didn't bowl a 290 by rolling the ball in the gutter. I bowled a 290 by getting like an 8 spare in the very first frame, which only gives you 20 points. And then I struck out. I got 11 in a row from there, which gave me my 290, right? However, I have bowled a 291. So what that means is I've gotten the front 11 in a row. I got 11 strikes in a row. This is down to the final shot. This is like one more strike. I just did it 11 times. This is the last shot. And I've only hit one pin. And there goes my 291. I blew the game. Okay. Nervous. I bowled a 292. I think you know what that means. I've gone the front 11. I've gone 11 strikes in a row. Roll my ball, and I've only hit 2 pins. And now, by the way, I'm talking about, this is like in league or in tournament, which means that this is like an official, your first 300, you get a ring and all that stuff, right? It goes into like the books as like an official 300 game, like an authorized 300 game. I'm not just talking about like just practicing and having fun. I'm talking about this is like minimum league, right? Sanctioned league. So this will count as an official 300 game. I've never thrown a good ball on that last shot. And I'm going to tell y'all why. When I'm bowling, right, I'm just like, what you'll see here, I always say this like on my lives. What you see here is what you get, right? Let me give y'all like real quick, and I'm going to get right back to the bowling story. I've been talking to my boys. Let me tell you something that I'm working on behind the scenes. And this is going to be like a premature release of saying it, but I don't, you know what I mean? It ain't no secret. We're trying to work on it behind the scenes. I had a talk with Lewis over at Radio Kicks 26. You know, the four of us come together with the One Pair at a Time podcast. So check us out on Saturday morning. It's called One Pair at a Time. It's myself, Lewis from Radio Kicks 26, my boy Jay from J Elevate, and my guy Purple Haze. His channel is coming soon. Per page, he will have. But the four of us come together and we have a podcast called One Pair at a Time. We kind of talk about sneakers, obviously, but I don't know. We talk about a lot of stuff, right? So anyway, I was talking to Lewis behind the scenes, and we've been trying to think of, and I was talking to Jay as well, and we're trying to think of like an event. I'm like, yo, we should try to find like an event, whether it's a sneaker event or whatever. It'd be nice if it was a sneaker event, but it don't necessarily have to be. But let's just say, like hypothetically speaking, let's say there was a sneaker con or a complex con or whatever in Vegas, right? Coming up, Chicago, wherever it's at. We can meet up in one state, grab like an Airbnb, shoot some content, have videos going, boom, 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 whatever. But then more important than that, of us just being together and filming or whatever, we get a chance to meet up with y'all. So let's just say there's a sneaker event. It don't got to be sneaker con, whatever, but let's say there's an event, a fashion event in Vegas. Now we let the chat know, yo, we're gonna be in Vegas during this time and this time. We staying in this hotel, whatever. Obviously, you can book wherever you want to book. We might be in an Airbnb, but my whole point is now we get to interact with y'all. So that'd be so dope. Imagine if we were able to meet up with y'all and all go out to lunch or dinner. And we reserve a nice little restaurant. We're like, yo, it's 40 of us. And we all just sitting there kicking it together. I don't know. This is kind of the stuff that's being worked on behind the scenes. Because me personally, I would love, let me tell you something. For everybody who be tapping in, John Parham, all of the usuals. For everybody who be tapping in, I would love to meet y'all in person. Because y'all show so much love, man. I would love to kick it with y'all in real life. I'm dead serious. I'm like dead. I might look kind of cheesy saying it, but I'm like really serious about that. Really, I have friends that I've met over the Xbox. Chaotic Trigger, he can tell you this. We have friends, right? I obviously I know him in person from back in New York. Chaotic, Mr. Trigger right here, Mr. Trigger, 1977. Dang, you old. You was born in 77, bro. Watch, he gonna call my phone while I'm on the live. He gonna call my phone. 1970. No, I'm just playing. So we have people that we've met from playing Xbox back in the day. That's become very close friends of ours. You know what I mean? So I would love to meet them. I know I'd be long-winded. I'm supposed to be cleaning some sneakers. What time is it? All right, I still got a little bit more time. I got to go to work today too. I got work. Executive Talk in the build. My guy Maurice in the build. M-Tip, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, my brother. Here goes a good example. Check out Executive Talk Network. My man Maurice, he be dropping the knowledge spiritually, especially when it comes to like business and stuff like that. But just as an example, good friend of mine right here. His name is Maurice. Maurice has bowled a perfect game. I just figured I'd put that out there since I was talking about bowling. So Mo, 2026. The challenge, I'm going for my perfect game in 2026. I'm going for it. Happy New Year to you as well. He said still there. He said, you privileged, I'm jealous. I went to Samuel Gompers High School. It's trash. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. Yo, all right. But hold on a second. Number one, I crack jokes about this all the time, right? Caveman, I crack jokes about this all the time. Because number one, my parents lived. I don't got to explain New York to you because you know how New York is, whatever, right? But my parents lived off of 110th and Merrick, 110th and Merrick, right? I had went to this big church. They had two of them. Well, technically they do. One of them is called Shekinah, but it's Allen AME. It's a really big church. So before I went to public school. I went to this school called PS, right? Because y'all know PS stands for public school. I went to PS 116, right? Y'all can Google it, whatever the case is. You can Google literally any school in New York. You'd be PS, whatever. IS, intermediate school. So like I used to hoop at IS 8 and stuff like that. But like IS means intermediate school, PS means public school, whatever. Obviously HS is high school, whatever. But I went to PS 116 and they claimed I was gifted. right? So they wanted to skip me a couple of grades. My parents didn't want me to get skipped in public school. I don't know why, but they didn't. So they figured they'd give me more of a challenge. So they put me into a private school. It was called Allen Christian School, Allen AME Christian School. Um, the founder, Floyd H. Flake, who ended up being a congressman as well, like I know his family and all that stuff. Um, they had a really good school. They actually had a really good school. The school is no longer into existence. Anyway, I say all of that to say, when you say you were privileged, I laugh about that because, God, man, my parents definitely tried, right? My parents, the number one, my parents still live in the same house that they purchased back in like 1981. No, they purchased it in 1980, actually, right? They live in the same crib. And it's weird because the section where my parents live at, even to this day, it's like a middle class, it's like a middle class section, right? So I grew up in a middle class household. The problem with this small block radius, and I'm not going to say it's a problem, whatever, I'm from there, but everything that surrounds that is hood. So, you know what I mean? Like, you're correct. Man, I was privileged to go to a private school, but I still lived in the hood. I was privileged to grow up in a middle class household amongst the hood. Like, so I didn't get a chance to escape it, if that makes sense. But let me tell you what I did get into: fights, because we had to wear a uniform, and when I'm walking, people be laughing at my tie that I gotta wear or whatever. So like the irony was, what I mean, like it's not like Power, what I mean, with Ghost, and he got his kids in private school, and what I mean, you living on the Upper East Side and Manhattan. Nah, I went to private school and still lived in the hood. I still had to take the bus and train. What I mean, to get out to Astoria, we still had to take 2 trains and a bus. But for me, it was a bus and 2 trains in order to get to high school. You know what I mean? And still had to walk. And still had to walk 5 blocks from the last stop of the N train. When we ended up in Astoria, we still had to walk 5 blocks to get to school. So I say all of that to say, yes, you're right. I did grow up privileged on the education side, but privileged in the hood. That's my final answer. He said, do you remember E-Tonic sneakers? I don't know why it's not ringing a bell, but let me look them up. Let me take a look. Let me see. $1980 E-Tonic. Oh, I do remember those. Yo, yeah, I've never had a pair of these, but I do. Yo, that is so nostalgic. Oh, snap. Yo, that's crazy. That is crazy. Let me see. We said, what's your most expensive sneakers, and how do you maintain your shoes? Here goes the irony behind that question. Even though I have quite a bit amount of sneakers here behind me, you can't see it all on camera. If I took a guess, I'm probably at about like that 170 mark, and that's me taking a guess. Out of the 170 pairs that I do have, not one pair in particular is like is super expensive. I'd probably say, all right, let me answer the question. The most expensive sneaker that I probably have right now will probably be my Brick by Bricks, probably. So any shoe that's costing right now $700 or $800, that's gonna be the most expensive shoe that I have. That's gonna be the one I'm pointing to right there, that red shoe right there. That'll be like a $700 sneaker, a size 12. I have the Pink Awakes, which my mic is blocking it, so it's right there. The Pink Awakes, that's a $700 sneaker, the one right here. And that's probably my most expensive sneakers that I have. It's gonna be the Pink Awakes and my Brick by Bricks. I don't currently have a single Travis Scott. I sold it at SneakerCon in order to pick up my Heidi Five Breads. But I have a lot of sneakers, but I don't necessarily have like expensive ones, if that makes sense. However, I've been thinking about making some changes, so I'm gonna start selling some sneakers here in 2026 in order to do a couple of different things. I'm gonna start a finance channel here pretty soon. I ran into a little bump in the road, but I'm gonna start a finance channel here pretty soon, and I'm gonna sell some sneakers and then take money from sneakers, profit from sneakers, and then I'm gonna put it into the stock market and just invest. So buy and invest and buy and invest and you know what I mean? Kind of switch some stuff up. I mean, truth be told, I already do it now. I just don't share it. So all I'm gonna do is just kind of share that. But I'm going to reduce my sneaker collection. I've been recollecting again for the past couple of years. I'm blessed. I've been able to put a whole lot of sneakers that I either A, had back on foot, B, never had been able to put them on foot for the first time, and now it's really time just to kind of let them go to another home and let them be loved. I'm not shutting down the sneakers. I'm not. That's not where I'm going with it. What I'm doing is I'm going to reduce my collection. So as items continue to come out, because I will cop it, right, for content purposes and because I like it. That's another thing is I buy what I like, but I will be selling some kicks. This is something that I've thought about. This is something that I've actually put a lot of intent behind the thought process. I've been eligible to have what's called channel memberships on my YouTube page, and I never activated it because I always wanted to show like my thanks to y'all. So just to give an example, I was talking about this shoe right here, this Pink Awake 5. I don't be rocking pink like that, and that's a primarily pink shoe. I got this shoe right here for retail. It's a $700 sneaker. I got it for $250, 257, whatever. I got it from Awake, New York, right? I paid retail for it. I now have a channel membership option on my page, on my YouTube channel, to where you can sign up for the $5 option, which pretty much is support to the channel. So I say thank you. And I also have a $15 option. Now I was very intentional on why I have such a high channel membership, and this is the reason why. In 2026, I will start posting sneakers up for sale, and I'm gonna post them up first for my members. So if you sign up for this $15 a month option, you're gonna have like baked in equity into whatever shoe that I'm selling. So like, just to give you an example, this Pink Awake, I got a size 13. All right, let me look this up. Give me a second, family. I got you. Just give me a second here. I'm kind of going off track here a little bit, but I do believe this is worth talking about here. All right, let's see. Yo, Trick, Jalida just got online. I need to hit him up, man. I gotta hit Chris up. See what's good with him. My bad, y'all. My computer's moving slow. All right, boom. I just want to give y'all kind of like a real life example of what I'm talking about. All right, so it's dropped below $700. So we got a men's size 13 right here, $689, right? But you'll know how it works with StockX. You factor in the processing fees, the tax and shipping, you'll be right above $700. But let's go for this $689 number. For anyone who is signed up to my $15 a month membership, channel membership, I will offer this shoe to you for $660 if I was selling it, just to give you an example. So now you got like guaranteed baked in equity. It's worth your time to buy a shoe from me if you're part of that membership, because it'll be cheaper than what you can get it for resale. And yes, that even means that if the shoe is currently going for below retail, I will still give you a deal on top of that. Like I say, I want to make it worth your while, right? You know what I mean? I want you to have some equity into what you're purchasing. I've thought very hard and long about this because, you know, I still want to give back, right? And that's literally like kind of like the purpose behind it, man. Like it's not just about me, it's about us. You feel me on that? So John Parham said he chilled and ate good for New Year's, bro. I had a small party at the crib yesterday. Small party at the crib, man. Did the same thing. Stuffed my entire face. Stuffed my entire face. Said we watch fireworks display, and my resolution is to get fit, exercise daily. I just start right away. January 1st, walking the talk. Actions speak louder than words. Start jogging. Yeah, that's what's up. Congrats on that. You know what I mean? And you can do it. You can do it. And I'm not just saying that to say it. Like I think some people really underestimate. I was now full transparency with what I'm about to share here because I intentionally put the pounds back on. So just to let you know that I did it intentionally, only because I know my body. I was 270 pounds. I'm right about 6'3", even though I'm starting to feel like, I don't know, my posture, like even right now, I'm kind of slumped. Oh, I just cracked my back. I'm like slumped over, right? Because, you know, posture is all jacked. But I'm 6'3". I was 270 pounds and I was like, yeah, no. I started doing this intermittent fasting, and the most important one, which I went back to, but I did this on purpose. I wanted to see how much weight I'll put back on. Anyway, I went from 270 down to 240. Literally, I dropped 30 pounds. And I'm not talking about dropping 30 pounds because I was starving myself, because I wasn't. I started doing this intermittent fasting and I cut out the unnatural sugars. I'm a mover. I have a moving company. So for a living, in addition to me working out, and this is something else I'm gonna do on my Facebook page as well. The beginning of the year on Facebook, I do like this 30-day push-up challenge. Number one, I do push-ups every day. Literally, when I roll out of the bed, I'm literally talking about when I get out of the bed, I go from bed to floor to floor, right? Bed, floor, and I wake up in the morning like this. And I wake up doing push-ups, like literally. That's like my thing, right? I rolled out the bed doing push-ups. Before I brush my teeth, before I use the bathroom, I'm literally on the floor, yawning and trying to just, you know, get the blood flowing. But I do this 30-day push-up challenge on Facebook, and it tends to get like a lot of views for anyone that follows me on Facebook. It tends to get a lot of views because it motivates people, not just because it's the new year, but also because it's the new year. You know what I mean? I don't do any resolutions personally because I believe that, you know, if you want to make a change, you can make a change right now. You don't got to wait until, you know, a particular timestamp. But if you did wait until a particular timestamp, there's nothing wrong with that neither. You know what I mean? So just go ahead and do your thing. But that 30-day challenge, you know, that I do, is just to get somebody else activated. You know what I mean? So I post for 30 days. Every day on Facebook, I'll post me doing push-ups. And it's cool because there's other people that, number one, will start putting videos of them doing push-ups on there, and they'll you know what I mean? They'll add it onto my link. You know what I mean? And it motivates them. Or people would just tell me, they'll type it in the chat, but like, yo, I did my push-ups today, D, thanks. I wasn't going to do them, but once I saw you post your video, I knocked mine out. And I'm like, that's what's up. I stopped posting after 30 days, but I never stopped doing my push-ups. I just stopped posting. So who knows? Maybe for Facebook purposes, I'll you know what I mean? I'll post a little bit more, you know, with my whole push-ups or whatever. Caveman said that is mine too, to lose weight as well. You know what I mean? I know my body. I know what works for my body, but so I'm gonna tell y'all what I did, and it was really easy. You can adjust the times to work it around your schedule, but I will share with you how I went from 270 down to 240. Right now, full transparency, I'm 250 right now. I put back on 10 pounds because I started eating those unnatural sugars again. So I wanted to see how much weight I'll pack back on if I started messing around with my ice cream and my freaking Little Debbie's. But now I do it in moderation. Moderation is important, but it's I cut it out at first. I dropped 30 pounds in about a month and a half, just for full transparency. You know what I mean? So I'm not talking about, oh, you can lose 30 pounds in a year. I did it in a month and a half, 30 pounds, real talk, real talk. Intermittent fasting, right? You adjust the hours to yourself. I'll show you my hours. This is what I've done. Between the hours of 9 a.m. and 9 p.m., 9 in the morning, 9 at night, that's 12 hours. I can eat anything I want to. Did you hear what I just said? I could have lost more weight if I cut out the pastas and all that stuff, but I like the food too much. I lost 30 pounds while I'm still eating spaghetti. I was born ready. I was already on fish and spaghetti. All right, you know, if y'all didn't catch that reference, you didn't have to. It's cool. I love pizza. I never cut out my pizzas. I never cut out my burgers. I did minimize my because, you know, look, judge me if you want to. I love fried chicken, but I went from fried chicken really down to baked, and now my wife actually would take a couple of breasts, no lie, throw them inside the Instapot, throw some onions and some carrots in there, let it do its thing and kind of shred up almost like shredded chicken. So now I'm just eating that on top of a bed of rice, or I make it into a taco and eat like a shredded chicken taco. I love me some chicken, right? I don't necessarily do the most fried, but I still eat. My whole point was I literally ate whatever I wanted to between the hours of 9 a.m. and 9 p.m., right? But the intermittent fasting part is from 9 p.m., another 12 hours up until 9 a.m., you don't eat nothing. So you have 12 hours to eat, and then you got 12 hours of no eating, and it worked like a charm with me. The first couple of days, you might get hungry between that 12-hour time frame, but what started happening was I started eating less time. I didn't say I started eating less. I'm talking about my time frame was less. So instead of just going 12 hours of no eating, sometimes I've gone 18 hours before I had another meal. Sometimes I've gone 20 hours before I had another meal. 20 hours. So now I got 4 hours to eat and 20 hours of no eating. And the time frame just started to shrink because I wasn't even hungry. That was the deal. Like I wasn't even hungry. And you can drink as much water as you want to during that 12 hours of no eating. You can drink as much water as you want to. And let's just say it was difficult for you to do. You're like, yo, bust this. I'm hungry. I'm not supposed to be eating right now. It's you know, whatever your time frames are, but this is my no eating time frame. I'm hungry. Pause what I'm about to say. But if you do, just break down and like you got to put something in your system. Do nuts. I say that with a straight face. But cashews, almonds, peanuts, walnuts, just eat some nuts. You know what I mean? It'll help curb that appetite and you're, you know, feeding yourself and it's a healthy way to go. When I say unnatural sugars, I'm talking about y'all know the high fructose corn syrup. All of that stuff is unnatural. It ain't good for us. It tastes delicious. It ain't good for us, right? When you get the soda from the I want to call it the dispenser. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The CO2. I'm losing my words here, but I don't even drink soda. I don't. I drink I drink seltzer waters. Like, no lie, I drink seltzer water, right? It's carbonated and it has zero everything. But anyway, I ain't trying to talk you off, but with this weight loss journey, intermittent fasting, and cut out the unnatural sugars, depending on your body, you can lose a good amount of weight just from doing that alone. Incorporate a little bit of exercise in there. I ain't talking about benching 225 pounds. I ain't talking about none of that. I ain't talking about doing pull-ups and chin-ups. I ain't talking about none of that. Walk. There are some major health benefits in walk. You don't gotta run a marathon. You ain't gotta do none of that. If you do it, cool. All right? You're already ahead of the curve if you do it. But you don't that's the thing. Like, a lot of people think it's just like with investing. A lot of people think, well, I never got invested because I don't have $15,000 to put into the stock market. It's like, you don't need 15K. Do you have $5, my brother? Do you have $10? Let's start right there. And when it comes to our health, it's like the same exact way. We put all these restrictions on ourselves as if like we ain't got the resources. Well, you know, I would start my weight loss journey, but I can't run 3 miles a day because I got a bum knee. Don't run 3 miles a day if you got a bum knee. You don't have to. Like, you really don't. I don't blame you. Why irritate your knee like that? You know what I mean? Go for something lower impact. Go get a little bicycle. And in the comfort of your own home, or maybe in the gym, you ride a bike. It's lower impact on your knee, so you still get to get some cardio in, and you're not tearing your knee up. Smart move. You know what I mean? Like, don't beat yourselves up. You know what I mean? Like, literally, don't beat yourselves up. All right. Rob T in the build. What up? What up? Sandy Bowen said $299 will hump me till I got that 300. You most definitely gonna get there. Good looking out. He's talking about my bowling. Yeah, my 298 is my highest game. Rob T in the build. What up, man? He said Rob T. What up, Mr. Thing? Happy New Year's and happy holidays, boss. Hope you're doing well, and may this year bring you great prosperity and big sneakers hits. Rob T, right back at you, my brother. I the same to you. You know, and I mean that. You know, like I mean it. Our thoughts manifest into action. So I received that. I mean it, and it will happen. It will happen. Rob T said 298. How you only hit one pin? Damn, you got nervous, and that's exactly what it is. Let me tell y'all what happens, because it's nerves. It's nerves. Here goes my other phone right here. Don't laugh at my case. My wife judges me all the time because my phone case is old. But the phone, I got an iPhone 11. All right, it is what it is. I was gonna upgrade, so now you'll make me take my case off because of the insecurity I had of showing you the messed up case. Now I'm putting the case back on. All right, so. This is what happens when you're bowling, right? You typically, you have what's called a bowling family. When you start bowling long enough, it's just like hooping, just like anything else, right? When you start going to the same place over and over again, you begin to know the people there. When you get 11 strikes in a row, when you're bowling, everybody's bowling. You hear pins crashing from everybody else. You hear a lot of chatter. People are drinking and having fun and watching sports games. And, there's going to be a game playing somewhere. TV's on and all that stuff. So everything is just flowing, right? So when you're bowling, everything's flowing. You got to strike. Boom. You got to strike. 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 People next to you are getting strike spares. They're missing shots. You hear people, all that stuff. It's a bowling alley. It's a loud environment. When you get like 11 in a row, whoever's bowling to your left is going to stop bowling. Whoever's bowling to your right, they're going to stop bowling. They're showing you like a respect, like a courtesy. All of a sudden, the bowling alley goes from like this loud bar type of environment. People are drinking and having fun. It goes from like this loud bar environment, and it turns into this. So when you turn around, because it didn't got all quiet, when you turn around and you look, everybody's there like this. Some people are already live on Facebook because they're trying to record your 300 game. It doesn't matter how many perfect games you have. A good friend of mine, his name is James Polk. He's a phenomenal bowler. He's a very good friend of mine. My man got like 87 perfect games, right? And he gets just as excited for every one that he throws. Yes! You know what I mean? Like, he gets excited for every one that he throws. Like, he doesn't just bowl a 300 and be like, nah, that's 89, so whatever. Like, he gets just as excited for and I've witnessed him bowl a lot of them, right? But anyway, the nerves kick in because everybody stops because they're trying to capture this moment for you. The problem is, boom, I go up there, I bowl, boom, I got 11 in a row. You got to turn around to walk back away from the approach, right? I just got to strike. That turnaround, I'm looking like this, and I'm like, oh crap. Now I turn back around towards the lane. Now I'm all nervous or whatever. I just did something 11 times in a row. What are you nervous for? You just got 11 freaking strikes in a row. And you only need one more. I'm trying to express to y'all my mentals during this last shot. This is why I've never thrown a perfect game yet. It's coming in 2026 because I'm thinking, dang, everybody is watching me right now and they got their phones out. Now it's all quiet. Now the whole bowling alley, because people there, the whole bowling alley kind of stops what they're doing, to show you love. I'm trying to get my camera to zoom out. because they're trying to show you love. Everybody comes now over to your lane and you got the whole bowling alley that's either gonna cheer for you and applaud you, or you're going to get what I've gotten every time I've been in a situation from 150, 200 people. Oh! That's the only sound I've ever heard. Oh, man. That's the only sound I've ever heard. Ah, good run, D. Good run. Ah. I've never heard the full-fledged chair for me to get a perfect game because I never got one. 11 strikes and 8. You did that this week in league? Nah, nope. That wasn't even this year. That didn't even happen in 2025. That happened in 2024. Yep. That wasn't even last year. Jay Elevate, what up, Jay? I'm moving through these comments kind of slow, so I didn't even know you was tapped in here. What up, fam? Happy New Year to you, my brother. Good seeing you in here. Ken Norton in the bill. What up? What up? You got some shout outs here. Good looking out to subscribe. I appreciate you. Luke said, you look like Will Smith, bro. Yeah, man. I've gotten that my whole life, you know. I'm an OG. I'm an old guy. But I've gotten that literally my whole life. My whole life. Have people tell me that. Let's see here. Okay. Fried catfish and spaghetti with hot sauce. It's delicious. And Jay Elevate's correct. Take a look at it. You can invest with $1. You sure enough can. You know, kind of going back to that investing thing, or coming back to the weight loss journey. You know, definitely start with right where you're at. I'm not going to lie. I did take kind of like an aggressive approach, but I'll tell you why. It has something. This is very personal with me. This is a personal me thing. Anything that I decide to do, like me, anything that I get interested in, I had a friend explain to me that this is kind of like a form of OCD, right? Anything that I decide to do, I get very engaged with it. I'm the one to crawl down that rabbit hole, and I want to learn as much about it as possible. That's kind of like a me thing. So like just as an example, when it came down to this YouTube channel and just like getting monetized and how to become a better YouTuber, and you know how to have good lighting, you know what I mean, to where like I'm making a good video and I have a good microphone and I don't sound all muffled and stuff like this, but having good audio and having good video and camera placement and having things in the background and certain colors, like I study this stuff. Like literally I do that for anything that I'm interested in. Like I go above and beyond. And a lot of times I do this intentional. A lot of times, if the reward pays off for the harder work to be done up front, there's a very good percentage of the time, a very high percentage, that I'm going to take the harder path. So if we were climbing a mountain and, you know, if we were climbing a mountain and there were a sign that said easy way or hard way, I'm going to take the harder path because there's going to be so much for me to learn. I'm not saying I'm going to get up there before you. I'm not saying that. Actually, there's a very good chance I won't get there before you, but there's going to be so much I experience taking the harder path that I will be able to share. And I don't know. It's almost like a form of self torture, to be honest with you, because I've had multiple opportunities in life, man, to take an easier path, and I intentionally do not take it. I just don't. I just don't. Might sound weird, but it's true. John P showing Jay some love. Luke said, "Hi, buddy. What up? What's good, everybody who's tapped in?" All right, it's 11:39. It's 11:40. I do have work today. I have work. I gotta work security today, so I don't have the most time to be on here, and I haven't cleaned a single kick. Let me tell you what's cool. My son's girlfriend is here, and what I did was I took a pair of her sneakers and I brought them down here because I want to clean them up for her before she leaves. So with that being said, let me get some stuff ready here. I'm gonna stop yapping so much, and I'm gonna clean some kicks while I got you here. So let's get the kick cam up. Shout out to the kick cam. The kick cam. And shout out to you guys, man. Shout out to everybody who I tapped in, man. First stream. This is the first stream of 2026. I will begin to stream more often. I'm not sure. I'm thinking about picking. Well, I don't know. It's almost like I want to pick a streaming day, and instead of me picking a day to stream, I'd rather pick a time. That's what I would rather do, because I might not be able to commit because of my work schedule and life in general, and I work security, I do moving, and I'm also bowling league and stuff like that. Instead of me picking like a day to be like, hey, every Wednesday at 7 o'clock or every Wednesday at 9 o'clock or whatever, instead of me picking a day, I would like to commit to a time. So if I'm available that day, maybe, you can take a look and be like, all right, it's 8 o'clock. So if Mr. Think is gonna stream, it'll be around now. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I got to work that out behind the scenes. Let's dig into these joints right here. We'll move my mic out the way. She got a little bit of gunk on here. I'm just pulling that off for her. I'm not necessarily gonna do the outside of the shoes, but whatever that is, I'll pull it off for her. I mean, it'll get tracked all throughout the house anyway, so might as well just pull it off. Alright. That one looking good. Nope, look. There's more of it. I don't know what that is. I'll flap it in the wind. Check that out. That's good enough. Like I said, I'm not really gonna clean the outside of them, but whatever is on here, I'm just gonna get that gunk off. Everything else is looking good. We had a outreach at the church outreach. I cleaned up a bunch of kids, man. You should have seen the smiles on their faces, man. Just serving the community, man, and just helping out others. Man, they were so excited. Got that off of there. Not really sure what that was, but capture that. All right, she can be happy with that. Got the most cleaned up for her, looking good. I've been wearing these Air Max 95 SB Eric Costins. I've been wearing these joints a lot. Mad comfortable. Mad comfortable. Now, I've been beating these shoes up. I just moved my whole table. I've been beating these shoes up. If you need to clean, braid, new buckle, whatever the case is, I like to start with an eraser. After the eraser, if you need to get more abrasive with it, you can definitely go wet. But just to kind of show you, I like to use an eraser. All right. So let's say now I've been beating these up, but let's say there's something you wanted to get rid of here. This eraser in particular, I believe I got this one from Walmart. This has like more of an abrasive side. This feels more like a pencil eraser, and this side right here is a little bit more abrasive. So just to show you, you're not going to damage your materials. I have a soft bristle brush close by next to me, and I'm just erasing. Just like how you erase a pencil mark. And then just brush it off with the soft one. This is the soft one right here. That's the soft guy. And even right here, I don't know if you can see those marks I just put. Camera's not picking it up too well. Let me see if I can get the camera to pick up those marks there. But it's there. It's looking good. I was really just gonna do the midsole on these. The uppers are. I've been wearing these like crazy. Mad comfortable too. Mad comfortable. All right, we're gonna go hard bristle. J Merle in the build. What up, fam? Happy New Year. Yes, yes, yes. 2026, man. We here. We is here, my brother. Also want to put something else back out there, actually. Let me pause. I'm gonna pause on that for a second, because I literally just thought about this. As you can tell, why I think it's worth me mentioning. For anybody who is interested on, on this financial channel that I will open up, I just the past couple of days ago, I've almost got hit with like some fraud scam stuff. So my accounts are locked up right now. That's me locking everything up. So things are kind of on hold right now. That's the only reason why I didn't get this channel popping today. Anyway, outside of that, for anyone who is interested in any like this financial stuff that I'm about to start doing, I want to first say this. I do not want channel members. if somebody becomes a member of my channel, let's say somebody goes with the $5 option, right? Just to show support to me and show me love, like, yo, I'm supporting the channel, Mr. Think. I'm proud of you. Keep it up. Boom. I'm showing my support. Show my support. Show your support by watching the videos, by dropping a comment, or by dropping a like. I'd rather have you take that $5 and instead of pouring it into the channel, I'd rather have you take that $5 and invest it. You know what I mean? I'd rather have you do that for you and your family, or whatever your purpose, or whatever your reason, whatever your why is. I'd rather have you do that versus not do it and just support me in that part. I don't know if I'm saying it the right way, if it makes sense, but what I'm trying to say is, let's just say somebody was like, yo, I got to spare $5 every month, and Mr. Think, I'm going to support your channel. I will say thank you. You can support my channel by subscribing, turning on that notification bell, hitting that like button, share the video with somebody, comment away, engage with me, help somebody else out. If you see a question sitting on the channel and someone goes, yo, how much did those cost, or where can I get those from, or when did those release? You know what I mean? Engage with other people. That's how you help me out. I would say save that $5, throw it inside of a brokerage, and let's get you invested. And instead of giving me $5 every month, give yourself $5 every month, and let's start right there. Maybe in the future the finances can change, where you do got some spare money and you still become a member anyway. But my whole point is, I'd rather have y'all investing versus, you know, monetarily pouring into the channel, because you're helping just by being there. Hopefully that came across the right way. Let's get back to these kicks. And definitely not trying to sound ungrateful neither. I hope that didn't come off as ungrateful. Do you have the White Thunder? I do. I gotta find them, but I do have White Thunders. Jordan 4 White Thunders, I sure do. Do you have a pair of those? Mugs are looking good. These mugs are looking good. Sneaky Tyler in the build. He said, Emerald Diamond Turfs on the way. That's what's up. Congrats on that cop right there. Oh, Abraham said, they are cool, right? Yeah, they are pretty dope. And he said, no, they don't have them. All right, I feel you. If I can find the box. If I can find the box really fast, I'll go ahead and pull them out. That's the off no air. That's not good. Oh, well, look at that. I'm glad you mentioned that because this is a good opportunity to get that lint off of there. Let me work on this. That was a good call. And that's just lint. It's not dirt. It's gonna come off very easy. You can get some Rejuvenator. They have the Jay, help me out. What's the Rejuvenator suede? They got a suede. I'm forgetting the name of the Rejuvenator one. I don't have the Rejuvenator one. I have the I have this thing called suede butter that I get from No Regrets. I need to get the Rejuvenator one. I'm not sponsored by anyone. I just like to support people, and I get a bunch of cleaner. Yo, Kicknology in the bit. Yo, my guy Truth. Happy New Year, my brother, man. Happy New Year, bro. Good seeing you. Mink oil. Good looking out. Good looking out. Sneaker Tyler came through with the clutch. Yes, it's called mink oil. So if you order through Rejuvenator, they have something that's called mink oil. After you just to get this off right here. It's really simple. A dry brush, soft bristle. Now I was using this one earlier. I got this wet to clean my son's girlfriend's shoe, so I'm gonna get a dry one. I'm not saying you can't use it because you could. I like to keep it dry, so I have another one back here. So I'm just gonna use a dry one. Make sure the brush is clean. Appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. Dry brush. It was just lint. It wasn't. Take a look at that. That's it. That's it. Just a dry brush. I figured I knocked the dust off of them since you asked to see them. I found them really quick. Maybe the camera will pick up on it. I did one shoe, I didn't do the other. This is the one that's done. And it's amazing how, no lie, like just a brush. I think sometimes people get a little nervous when it comes to their sneakers. Number one, respectfully so, you spend a lot of money for them and on them, right? So that's cool, right? Hard-earned money. Like, we work hard for our stuff. And then sometimes people are, I don't want to mess up the material, so I'm not going to wear them. Or, I got something on them, I don't know how to take them off, so I'm not going to wear them no more. So you'll be surprised, no lie, on how much justice just a brush. I'm talking about if you just gave it a brush. So now I'm gonna brush these. Dry brush, there's nothing on it. Just a dry brush. If I got the time, I won't have the time to do it today, but I really need to make a video, get another video out there. What's good? We got a shout out to the chat. Make sure you go check my guy Truth out at Kicknology. My man right here. Family man, godly man, you name him. He's a good cat, man. He really is, man. Make sure you'll check out his content. My man be posting. He's a post machine. Post machine. He said it's crazy. This time last year, all eyes are on the Black Cat 3s. Bro, you ain't never lie. That is a very good comparison, because what did we get last year in January? Black Cat 3s. I don't remember if we got the Flu Game 12s in February or if that was still January. I kind of don't remember. I know February we did get the Heidi Five Breads. But you're absolutely right. In January, we got Black Cat 3s, and them joints sat. Nobody wanted to mess with them. Them joints sat. And now Black Cat 3s are going for like 300. Rookie of the Year low. Was that January too? The Rookie of the Year are kind of like the mustard ones. I never got those. I never got those. Like them, I just never got them. Ooh, I knew why I didn't get them. Because I don't have the highs. That's what it was. I didn't have the highs, so I didn't get the lows. All right, let me put these away real quick. That is like one benefit. I'm trying to lean out if you can hear me okay. That's like one benefit behind Jordan Brand marking the boxes that they do, because it just makes it a whole lot easier to find. You know, the old school boxes are cool, but when every box looks the same, you got to read the labels to see what's inside of it. So when I was looking for this box, I remember what this White Thunder box looked like. You got the splatter print on there with the white flight, so it was really easy to find, actually. All right, let me clean up a couple more pairs before your boy get up out of here and boogie. He said facts. I like the different boxes. You ain't never lie. It makes it a whole lot easier to find. And I'm also here for like the presentation. And I don't know why I'm moving my hand like that, but I'm looking at myself in the screen. So, you know, there it is. All right, let me clean up a pair of work kicks. These are gonna be easy. I work in my mids right here. I'm gonna put them on foot. So the two sneakers that, actually three now, the three sneakers that I'm gonna work in now gonna be my Black Cat 4s, these triple black mids, and my Black Cat 3s. I actually work when I do my security gig. I work in my, because you got to wear a black shoe, boot, whatever. So I work in my mids, 3s, and 4s. I haven't brought the 4s out yet. These shoes are cooked, you know what I mean? These are cooked, so I'm just gonna clean them, you know what I mean? But this is what I wear for work, so I ain't tripping on that at all. For those that don't know, the Air Jordan 1 has more of a synthetic leather on here, so this isn't like anything soft, gentle, tender, you know, tumbled, or none of that stuff. This is just a kind of like a leather composite. It's typically a little bit rougher and a little bit more synthetic or whatever. I'm still going to use the soft bristle brush on it, but truth be told, I really don't care. The same brush that I would use on the outsole here, on the midsole, and outsole, it would be the same brush that I would use up top. But just for the sake of the video, I'm actually going to go with a soft bristle brush. I'm going to do it the right way. Yeah, I know they do look like old forces. They sure enough do. Yeah, these are just triple black Jordan 1 mids. I still rock Jordan 1 mids. I don't buy every mid that come out because I understand that people don't be liking mids. I still rock mids. So I gotta work. Yeah, I even gotta work later on today. But why not? Why not go into work with a clean shoe on? I think that makes all the difference all by itself. Just going with a clean shoe. Just looks better. Looks better clean. All right, let's clean this one up. Wrong brush. The cool thing about a clean shoe is even when a shoe is old, it looks better clean. Like, I get compliments on things that I wear, right? Like out in public. Let me tell you some of the best compliments. Let me tell you some of the compliments that feels the best, right? It's not when I'm wearing like for me, it's not when I got a little bit on the camera here. It's not when I'm wearing like a hype shoe per se, right? Because everybody got the hype shoe on foot. Because everybody got the hype shoe on foot. It's when I'm walking with a Air Jordan 1, Rare Air 1, and people are looking down like, yo, nice shoes. Because maybe I switched out the laces on them or something like that. You know what I mean? It's when I'm rocking something that, people look down at my Eric Costins, my SB, MX 95s, be like, yo, nice sneakers, man. You know what I mean? And then I'm like, thanks. I'll have mids on my feet, and people will be saying, yo, I haven't seen those before. The Space Jam, the Jordan 1 Low Space Jam, the mids, man, I put some white laces up in there. I put Concord laces, like great laces in there. People be complimenting me on that shoe. And I'll be like, yeah, it's a mid. And they're like, oh, I don't like mids. But yeah, the shoe is still cooked, but it's clean. And just because it's clean, it looks better. Look at that. Yeah, the shoe is cooked, but they're clean. Flu games. It's another one of my dailies. Yes, this is a 2025 pair because it don't look like it. I wear these flu games a lot, fam. Yeah, Sneaker Tyler, I did peep that. For your Bronco colors, you went ahead and switched out the laces. That was dope too, by the way. Make sure you go check out my guy Sneaker Tyler. He be going in with the cleanings, with the laces, with the reviews. He got kicks. That's what's up. I know these don't look like the 2025 because look, I wear these joints is already semi-cooked. And I don't care because I wear them. But I'm gonna show you the difference. There's the difference in cleaning them. There's the difference in cleaning them and having them dirty and having them clean. Watch, let's put one to the side. We're gonna go soft bristle brush for that leather. I'm gonna be wearing these very soon. Like, I think I'm gonna run to the store before I go to work, and I'm gonna have these on foot because I just wear them a lot. So I'm not really too concerned about the midsole per se. But just take a peek on how the colors, like that red just snapped back on it just from being clean. Take a look at the black just from cleaning. Look at the color of that red right there. All right, let's clean them up. Sneaker Tyler said they got the Nike Calm slide on foot. Those are pretty comfortable too. I got a pair floating around here somewhere. Nike Calm slides are pretty comfortable. I like them joints. Have you thought of the sneakers you want in 2026? Ooh, yes, somewhat. Just from the Jordan 4s alone, there's a Jordan 4 list that let me pull that up real quick. Let me see if I can find this real quick. I've been seeing a couple of restocks pop up too. All right, I'm just pulling up this 4 list. Let me see what I'm interested in here. All right, confirmed on sneakers. Generate. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let me see. If I can't, I'll just do it. What is that on? Drops by Leo. Give me 1 sec. Let me see if I can pull it up on the screen. If not, I'll just read it off. You know what? I think they took it off of I'll just read it off. I'll do another live and I'll actually pull up the images. I don't want to waste too much more time. All right, I'll just read it off real quick, Ty. Answer your question. All right, so for I'm going off of this little text that I see here of things that's confirmed for Jordan 4s. This is only Jordan 4s. All right, that's confirmed on the sneaker app. Let me start with the Jordan 4. January 17th, we have the Flight Club. You're already starting to see videos of this shoe coming out already. Not a shoe that I'm going for. I might mess around with this kick for review purposes only, but and that's at a juicy deal only, by the way. Let me start there. That's juicy deal only. Other than that, I have no interest in that kick. We got February 7th, which happens to be my birthday. We have the Valentine's Day 4. This shoe kind of has a resemblance. So, well, not really. When I first saw this shoe kind of had the resemblance of like the SB, the Family and Friends pair, but it don't have suede on the toe cap there. It has leather. Anyway, I'm not messing with those neither. So that's the Valentine's Day 4s. All right, now February 14th on Valentine's Day. The name of those shoes is called the Valentine's Day on February 7th. But on Valentine's Day, we have the Laker 4s. So boom, I'm going for the Laker 4s. We'll see if we can hit on those. And then on May 2nd, we have the Toro Bravo. Boom, I'm going for the Toro Bravo. And then on the summer of 26, it says Iced Carmine. I don't know, it looks like some sort of baby pink type of shoe. I ain't messing with those. And then the summer of 26, we got the Nigel Sylvesters. Boom, I'm going for those. Good old Nigels, right? Then, of course, we got the fall of 26. Bread 4s. Boom, going for the breads. And then we got the fall. We got the London. Boom, going for the London, right? And then that's 5. And then we have the Tour Yellow. Boom, that's 6. We have Birds of Paradise. I don't know anything about honestly don't know anything about this shoe. I don't know anything about the Birds of Paradise. From the looks of it, it looks like it could be a women's release only, but I know nothing about that shoe. So that ain't really nothing that I'm looking at least not yet, because I know nothing about it. And then we got the Pink Thunder. So see, this is dangerous. There are 7 shoes here. Wow. Now the Pink Thunder, I'm up for full transparency because I don't be rocking pink like that. If my wife or my daughter, which I'm pretty sure they will, if my wife or my daughter get a pair of those Pink Thunders with me, I will get a pair. You know, that would be kind of like my matching kick with my wife or my matching kick with my daughter. And I'm pretty sure they're not going to turn down Jordan 4 from me. But, you know, so anyway, I just named 7 shoes, and those are just Jordan 4s alone. That's what makes this thing so doggone dangerous, man. That's what makes it so dangerous. And that's me naming 7 shoes without those, you know, without me getting a juicy deal. Because that'll mean that I wouldn't pick something up, you know, off of a juicy deal and then just sell it. The Flight Clubs, like at the moment, I don't have any interest in these Flight Clubs that's releasing this month on the 17th. I just ain't got no interest in it. Let me clean this up real quick. You said, yeah, so far I got 7. Woo! Woo! Yeah, I ain't doing no better. Maybe we should start doing like these lives, like you know, like sneaker rehab, Nike rehab. You know what I mean? Or even if you mess around with any of the brands, which I know you do. I don't venture too far to Nike, but maybe we need to start having some live therapy sessions. That'd be funny. Did Nike get you again in your wallet? Did you just buy these shoes that came out when you told everybody you weren't going to buy them? Welcome to the club. You was all over your social media platforms talking about how 2026 you was about to slow down. You confessed to the world you was done. You didn't hit on the Laker fours, and you said you wasn't going to go for any more releases for the rest of the year because you were salty. Welcome to the club. All right, got these joints all cleaned up. Yep, sneakaholics. we'll end up being the sneakaholics non-anonymous. Because we're going to be on a live. So we're going to be the sneakaholic non-anonymous. Be like, all right, next up. Be like, hi, I'm Mr. Think. Hello, Mr. Think. Hi. I picked up the Big Bar Bricks. Oh. The Nigel One Lows. Oh. Pink Awake Fives. No way. Black Metallic Fives. Oh. Heidi Five Breads. Oh. Undefeated Fours. No. Gamma 11s. Get out of here. Black Cat Fours. No way. Flu Game 12s. No. Black Cat 3s. Oh. The whole Rare Air Pack. The Black Tongues, Grape Fives. Yo, I went through my list, family. I picked up, and I'm not talking about no double ups. This is excluding double ups because I did double up. I tripled up on these right here. Boom, tripled up on those. I tripled up on those. I still have a DS pair tucked away somewhere. And my other pair I gave to one of my guys. His name is Coy. His birthday is on Cinco de Mayo. And I gifted him these Flu Game 12s. He really wanted a pair. I gifted it to him on his birthday. So I'm not even talking about double ups and triple ups. I'm just talking about the shoes that I copped this year. On a soft count. Not this year, obviously last year, 2025. A soft count is going to be right around about 37 pairs. Insane. That is absolutely insane. I think I am at 37 pairs. Oh snap, Sneaky Tyler got me beat. He said, bro, I sold a lot, but I ended up with 29 and copped 50. Ooh, you went in. Ooh, you went in. I'm trying to tell you. Yeah, I do remember you sold a pair. You sold some pairs and you were able to cop some other LeBrons and stuff like that. I remember that. Yep, I used a lot of other ones I sold to pay for my hype pairs. I do remember that. For sure. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Let's do some soft. Let's just do some soft math over here. Just real soft. Real soft. Nothing too abrasive. Just some nice, calm, soft math. If we take 35 pairs and on average times that by 220, just on average, so 35 times 220, that, my friends, is crazy. Ooh. Ooh. 77 hundo for the year. When I tell you Nike be in our pockets, I can speak for myself. When I tell you Nike be in my pocket, Nike is in my pocket. Yes, I do look at these sneakers as like an investment, right? So you can always sell, you can resell. If you have a channel, you can get monetized. You know what I mean, and get compensated, and through sponsors and stuff like that. And you can get all types of deals and brand deals, and all of that stuff is like the sky's the limit. When it comes to that. But just in general, like watch this. Let me share this with y'all. Right? There's only 4 people tapped into the live right now. I wish more people can hear what I'm about to say. Right? Yep. 50 pairs. I wish more people can actually listen to what I'm about to say. I had somebody jump in my comment section, and Jay Elevate knows this. I had somebody jump into my comment section, and they said, "Look at all of these idiots working for Nike for free." And the reason why they said that is because, obviously, in my display, you see, I wear the bulk of Nike products. Actually, I don't think I do. I do have a shoe that's outside of Nike because I got Timberland boots, right? And I do got like Yeezy slides. But anyway, the bulk of my stuff is Nike. But anyway, the person thought there was like kind of flagging an insult by saying, like, look at all of these YouTubers, idiots, advertising sneakers for free, right? And I thought about that statement because I was like, that's just the benefit of branding. That's the benefit of having a company and just branding. Like, if you think a YouTuber, right, is doing this for free and we're a bunch of idiots, imagine how your everyday person feels when they're walking with a hoodie and it has Nike on it, or you're driving your car and it has Ford stamped all over it, and it has the model of the Ford stamped all, badged all over it. Or you go to Starbucks and you get a coffee and it has that Starbucks logo on it, and you walk around town or you walk to work inside your job, with the cup in your hand, and it's branding. Man, it's branding everywhere. I got some news for you. You ain't getting paid to rock it. We all do it. Even subconsciously. You just see us on the internet. You literally see us on YouTube or IG or Twitch, all the platforms, X, right? TikTok. You just happen to see content creators doing it, and you instantly jump on that boat of like, look at y'all idiots, marketing and advertising these businesses. And I'm like, yeah, you walking around, watch this, whatever shoes, whatever watch, whatever jewelry, earrings, car you drive, place that you eat at, even at Chick-fil-A, they got the red chicken on there, right? And it says Chick-fil-A. There's marketing and branding literally everywhere. Chick-fil-A ain't paying you to walk down the street or sit down, with a container of fries that got their logo all over those fries that you're eating. You ain't getting paid for that. Like, you're not exempt. The whole point of it is you are not exempt, my friend. We are all, and when I say all, we are all marketing and advertising for other brands that we are not getting paid for. We all do it. I drive a BMW. BMW don't pay me to drive that car. Actually, I pay them to drive that car. You're welcome. I had to get that out. I said, although if you bought 4 pairs of Travis Scott frags, it would cost as much as 35 sneakers. That is a hard fact there, my guy. That is a hard. Somebody had a post. There was a post out on Facebook, and they had a bunch of kicks out there, and it was like, if you was able to cop 1 pair for retail, which pair would you get? And they had all of the hype kicks out there, and I chose the Fragment 1 lows, and people jumped on me in the comment section. No, you're a hype beast and blah 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 blah. And I was like, nah, not really, but I replied with, I'd get the Travis Scotts for retail, I would sell the Travis Scotts, and then I was like, I'd pick up the Gamma 11s, I pick up the Black Cat 4s, I'll pick up the High 85 breads. So I started naming off these. I'll pick up the Undefeated 4s. You know what I mean? I was like, I will get all of these. No lie, I can get 5 pairs of shoes for trading in one. And then once I put that up there, people's like, nah, you right, nah, OG's on to something. I was like, yeah, you got it, trade bait. I was like, I don't care about no doggone fragments. Don't get me wrong, it's a nice shoe, but when I say I don't care about it, I am for the hype and the name and all that, I'm good. I'd rather have 4 pairs of shoes. I take Undefeated 4s, High 85 bread, Gamma 11s, and why not? Just for the sake of the conversation, just to go easy on them, I'll go Shattered Backboards, right? I take those 4 shoes, still have probably a couple of $100 left over, you know what I mean, just to chill, and I would trade in those fragments for those 4 pairs of shoes right there. You know, just to put that into perspective. I'm like, yeah, I'm not a hype beast. I toss those shoes in a heartbeat. He said I can sell 1 pair of Yachties for like 6 sneakers. You see, yeah, those Yachties, showing enough. Shout out to everybody who's tapped in. Make sure you check out One Pair at a Time. That is myself, Jay Elevate, Lewis, I wear Kicks 26, my guy Purple Haze. We come on that Saturday morning, 7 o'clock Mountain Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. It's just 4 of us. We come together and we're really trying to get this platform off the ground. Actually, we're trying to get this, when I say that platform, the platform is YouTube. We're trying to get that channel off the ground. We're trying to get that channel off the ground so much to where I'm going to start doing lives, and I'm just really going to be pushing the One Pair at a Time. So for anybody who is tapped in right now, switch on over to One Pair at a Time. Just go ahead and give us a quick little subscribe, turn on that notification bell so that we can definitely get that channel. That is one of many things that's happening in 2026. One of many. These shoes right here are clean. Like I said, what time is it? It's almost time for me to bounce because I got to go to work today, and I'm not even tired. I got one more pair I can clean up real quick, actually. I find myself wearing these a lot as well. Number one, there's a lot of shoes that I wear a lot. That's number one because I have a lot of shoes, so I wear a lot of shoes. So that's the first thing. There are just some shoes that I just naturally do wear a lot. My white cement 4s, military blues, wet cements, rare air 1s, my SB Navy 4s, these, my flu games. I wear a lot of shoes a lot. Like a lot. My Jordan 2s, black cements 2s, I wear those a lot for work. You can see that a little bit. You see a little bit of that. Now, I've never tried this before, so I think right now is a good time to try this. If you watch Skip Goes Hard, Skip calls this driver's foot, right? This is on the right shoe, right? Because you know what's happening. When you're driving, you know, you're switching from gas to brake and your foot's like this and it gets dirty right there. Primarily from you having like dirty carpet in your car, but you know, your foot's on that angle. Anyway, I've never tried to use like the Mr. Clean like eraser on the midsole, so I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try the Mr. Clean eraser. So I'm gonna try one of these on the midsole. Never done it before. Let me see how good it cleans. Now, I doubt I need this full eraser for that. I do not have a pair of scissors. Oh, maybe I do have some scissors. Hold up. I does. So I don't think I need a full piece here. So I don't know if this is big enough neither, but I just figured I don't have to use the whole thing. So let's see how it turns out. I'm experimenting now, so let's experiment. Yo, with minimum, I'm talking about with minimum effort. Like, when I tell y'all with minimum effort, hold on a second. Nah. Hold on. I intentionally didn't even want to clean the whole thing so y'all can see it. Hold on a second. When I tell y'all with minimum effort, the lighting's not picking it up. I just turn on the light. You can see where I stopped at. If the lighting is picking up, I stopped right here. So all of the rest of this is still dirty. It's hard to see, but that right there is still dirty. It's still dirt right there, right where my hand is at. But with minimum effort, starting from right about right there, I think I found a new way to clean the midsoles, man. Now, obviously, it depends on the midsole because this Mr. Clean is going to be way more abrasive. Yo, what up, fam? Happy New Year to you, brother. Happy New Year to you. Obviously, this Mr. Clean is going to be way more abrasive, so just be careful on what you use it on. But on the midsole and outsoles, oh, I can tell you right now that that'll be all day. I'm just curious. I'm literally, yeah. Hold on. Let me knock out the rest of this midsole right here. I'm talking about like minimum scrubbing. Yeah, this is gonna be way more abrasive because I'm not even like scrubbing hard, and this whole thing is white. Wow, that is very impressive. That is very impressive. Yeah, that is very impressive. I wish I had another pair that was like super dirty. Oh man, I don't. I wish I had another pair. Oh, hold up. All right. I think we might be. All right, boom. This is the pair that I cleaned. Now, just for context, right? Just for context, I have a bunch of different brushes here. This right here is a hard, medium to hard bristle brush. You can take a look at the details there, right? That's more abrasive. That's a more abrasive brush. And then normally for suede and nubuck, I go dry. This one is dry because I have a lot of brushes. This is the one I've been using for wet right now, but it's the same brush, just This one is dry, right? Wipe that off. This is a soft bristle brush, and you can see how soft. Look how soft that is. Right? Boom, nice and soft. I just cut up one of these little Mr. Clean erasers, and I cut it because I didn't think I need that whole deal. So I just used some scissors and cut it. You can rip it off. You can use the whole thing if you want. I just didn't want to waste it. Anyway, let me see, because these are dirty. I'm not sure if the camera is picking up the dirt on here. It's not. But all right here, this is all dirty. Right here. You can see that. This is all dirty. All of this is dirty. This is the right shoe. So there is some driver's foot right here. I don't know if you can see it, but there is some driver's foot right there as well. I'm gonna use this Mr. Clean eraser again. Yeah. Yo. Screw this. This is working so well. I don't even want to waste the time because I got to get ready to bounce. I don't even want to waste the time doing that. I'm gonna jump right into it. This is working so well. This is working so well. I'm gonna jump straight to the outside. All right. Normally, whenever I do my outsides, I steam it. I steam it off. All right. Here goes a good testing spot, because this right here is looking good, but because it is still wet, here goes a good testing spot. You'll see I'm gonna work on just this circle right here. I'm just gonna work on just that circle. And I'm not going all crazy with it. I'm just kind of just going in like a little circle, being gentle. I'm not even like scrubbing. I just targeted that one area just to kind of show you. Yo, this eraser just might be my next joint. Take a look at that. Just the circle. All I did was the circle. Peep that. All right. Y'all see what this look like right here, right? I'm just gonna do these little 4 bars right here. I'm gonna do these 4 bars. Yo, I'm gonna tell you right now, I think I found a new way to clean my outsoles. So instead of using this brush right here, yeah. Now, there's gonna be a benefit to using this brush. This brush will be able to get up into like the cracks and crevices, right? Because it's a brush, so it'll be able to get up, into, the cracks and crevices versus kind of like the sponge, right? The sponge is gonna get this outer layer, but the brushes will get in between there. So I'm not saying there's not a use for it. Whenever I have rocks or anything like that, I take this tool right here, a little cuticle pusher. I take this tool right here to get like rocks and pebbles out of it. I don't see any in here to work out, but so this is what I use anyway. So if let's say something was stuck in, like let's say you stepped in some doggy poo, I would use this. See what I'm saying? I would use this to get that out. So I start right there, get up in there, get all that stuff out by hand, and then clean it. But you see how this is literally pulling up the suds. So this is pulling up the suds from the... That's how I would clean it anyway. I would clean it by hand. And then after I do this, I'm just using this as an example. After I do this, then I will go in and clean it with a brush. But yeah, this is that's very impressive. Yes, the white stitching. Ooh, that is such a good example. Yo, I'm glad you mentioned that. I am so glad you mentioned that, because on these kicks right here, I demolished my self-expression ones because of the paint. I don't got the time to really do it today, but somebody remind me. Somebody remind me. Because this is exactly what you're talking about. On the on these joints right here, got the rare array. I kept this pair black. You see how clean that's looking. That's looking super clean right there, right? And then I demolished the other pair. So peep this. Boom. Right? All up in here, look at that. That's all black. The stitching right there is all black. It might be hard to see on camera. Right there is white. It's white right there. Then right here where my hand is at, that's all black. The camera's not picking it up pretty good. But all on the back, you can see a lot of it right here. That's all that staining. All that right there is black. You see that? That's all black. And that was all of the paint that got all up into the stitching over there. Look how that looks. It looks like crap. All of this right here where my hand is at, that's black. All right here, this is all black. Dang, I wanna mess around with these so bad. Actually, you can kind of see the difference, because right here is good. So right here to right here is actually good. Right there is good, and then there's black there, and there's black here. So in between here is already good. Man, I want to mess around with those now. I want to see if this Mr. Clean joint can get that going. Dang it. I'm gonna have to do another live. I got work today, so I'm gonna have to boogie. Shout out to everybody who had tapped in. Still gotta clean up the space here, man. Happy New Year to you. Thanks for tapping in. Thanks for showing some love. If I didn't have a work, man, I'd honestly just rock out with y'all, but I have to go be an adult. That's what I gotta do. I gotta be an adult. Man, there's always love in this end, man. Thanks for tapping in. Literally, shout out to everybody. Appreciate you. It's always love. Hey, it's a new year. Let's do some great things. And we out.